Yeah, baby! You're on horseback right now. You're riding through the valley on your way to the final battle, on your way to destroy the final boss, and you have an erection.
All right, everybody, welcome to SuperHouse episode 151. We're here once again, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And joining me on this oral journey will be Matavius
Oh, hi.
and Stephanavius.
We are known for our good oral.
We love to give oral here. And if this is your first SuperHouse podcast, this is not gonna be our normal fare. But we're glad that you're here. We're trying something new here, and this is maybe a SuperHouse Elseworld story. Let's just consider it that, all right? So, in this episode, we're going to be doing our top 3 video game tracks of all time, or even just ones that we just wanted to talk about. It doesn't have to be our top of all time personal favorite. There's 2 ways to look at it, I guess. And just some of the rules were it couldn't be a cover, which actually took out Street Fighter for me. Because that definitely would have made it if we were doing covers, and couldn't be a whole soundtrack. Had to be a track from the game. So, and also the reason that this is different than usual is that we're going to play either all or a good bit of the track for the ep, just so you can kind of take the oral journey with us. So,
Wait, it can't be an opening thing?
It can, as long as it's from the game.
Whew.
It's as long as it's in the game.
I was like, holy shit.
Yeah,
dude,
no.
Scared me.
Mine's not. Some of mine are not in game either.
This is the spookiest episode ever.
Okay. So let's start it off. We're gonna do 3s all around, then 2s all around, then 1s all around. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So Maddie, what's your number 3?
All right, well, I'm going to start it off with something newer. Because I just played this game, 100%ed it. My boys know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that Marvel Spider-Man game.
Oh shit!
100%.
So, I think one thing that the game did great, I know a lot of SuperHouse podcast listeners haven't heard my review of it. I'm kind of waiting for Stefan and Joey to get done with it to, get back into it, maybe get a DLC under our belts or something, which comes out, I think, the 23rd or 24th of this month. So, I'm pretty psyched. But I think one of the greatest things they did in this game was when you're web slinging, they put a theme to it.
Nice.
And it makes you feel epic as fuck, dude. I just want to web swing around that city and be like, what's up with my city, bro? Oh, got some theft going on here. I'm Spider-Man. Let me stop that for you. Oh, let me go swing in again. You're like, oh, I feel so epic. I feel like I'm in this game. I'm in the movie. Oh. I love the web slinging theme. I think it's one of the better things that they added to this new game. I mean, there's a lot of other stuff I really liked in it, but that's another topic for another time. But I just think that theme music's so great, and not once did I get tired of it. I was like, I just start swinging. I'm like, there it is. There would be that split second where it's got to start up because, it's a computer. And yeah. I was like, what? Wait, where is it? It's so lonely out here web slinging. I need that in my ears. I just loved it. I felt epic. It made me, for me to do a bunch of side quests like finding backpacks and shit, it made it a lot easier because you're like, yeah, well, at least it's going to be epic when I find this backpack because listen to this fucking kick-ass theme.
Wait, so let me ask a question about this. So this theme is only when you're web slinging, and it's not when you're just standing on a building?
No, it's just web slinging.
Okay.
Yeah, it gets all super intense and
it fades in and out. It's not abrupt, but when you come to rest for a little while, it'll fade out, and you can hear the ambience of the city.
Yeah.
A little bit more, but then as soon as you jump off of whatever you're perched on, it's like dun, 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 dun,
shit.
I
beat the game and everything, but I don't even remember this theme. I gotta go back. The song that stuck out to me was the one where you hack the police radio, and then the camera circles around you for a bit. That's the one that really
actually
stood out to me.
To add to both of yours, to add to both of those, the music when you're doing Octavius's science, connecting those electrical circuits or whatever.
Yeah.
That shit is so sick. I seek out full albums that sound like that, on a regular basis. Love that kind of heady electronic chill out kind of stuff, kind of shit.
This is like a heavy rotation Superhouse mix episode.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Video game.
Yeah.
Rotate.
Before we listen to this track, Stefan, so you know this track. Do you have any thoughts about it before we go into it?
Like what Maddie said, they do a good job of like making you feel like Spider-Man with it, because the theme itself is it's a new composition of music from what I can tell, but it definitely has the personality of the Raimi Spider-Man music, even the Amazing Spider-Man. You know, it really makes you feel like you are in that, not only in like a movie version of Spider-Man, say like you are Spider-Man in that way, but also like in even the comic book kind of way, like reading the pages of those comic books. It's just the unheard music that plays in your head. You know, it really fits the world really well. And that's what I would say to that.
All right, fucking awesome. Well, let's take a listen. All right, that's fucking awesome, Maddie.
What an epic
I know.
theme.
I definitely want to get that. I have a record player. I definitely want to get some more game soundtracks.
That's cool. That would be awesome.
Yeah. And that's probably on the list. Anyway, so Stefan, your number 3 pick for this here list.
So my number 3 pick is from a classic PS1 game that I don't think I ever played fully through. I've played a little bit of it, but it's the theme Time Scar from Chrono Cross.
Nice.
The sequel to Chrono Trigger. There's a link for ya.
Did you play Chrono Cross back in the day?
I've played both of them a little bit, but I suck at RPGs, man. I just really can't like get into it, you know. I'm like, it's really like I like the character building stuff, but I just wish all RPG. Well, I like it, I really do. I've never been able to get through a whole RPG game. Honestly, I lose interest at a certain point. But
I think that RPGs are kind of like hard to get into, but once you're like hooked, I think you're really hooked.
Yeah.
Like the returns are great.
Yeah, I really liked Final Fantasy VIII. I liked Final Fantasy VII, but I never played through it. I just watched my brother play through it. He's such a brainier guy, you know, like he was so much more into the intricacies of the way it played out. And at the time, I more was like into like duck and cover shooters and action adventure, open world, you know, kind of stuff.
How'd you discover? If you're not really a big RPG player, how do you have like a origin story for you in this song?
Yeah, we used to get the PlayStation demo discs, and sometimes they would have audio tracks on them you could put into your CD player, and they had the Chrono Cross theme on one of the demo discs. Or actually, no, what am I saying? They had a trailer for Chrono cross, and it had the whole piece of music, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing, like so epic. I used to play it before I'd go to school to get like pumped, you know, be able to face my enemies on the battlefield and like get through the day, you know, like just my imagination would run wild, you know. In the morning I'd be like, fuck, I'm gonna, whether or not this is gonna be a good day, I'm gonna make it a good day or some such shit.
So Corridor of Time from Chrono Trigger almost made my list because that song is so epic, and
nice.
I'm kind of like you, Stefan. I kind of wish I was more of an RPG guy because I respect that genre. I don't know what it is. I respect the genre, but I can't get into most of the games. Like I usually love the artwork. I love character design. I'll love the story if I'm not playing it, but it's just the having the talk so much. You know, I don't know what it is. It's just you get bored kind of sometimes.
Yeah, I just get kind of like, I mean, I like the idea of exploring and building, really getting into the world and stuff. I don't know. I guess the third person perspective has always just been my favorite because that's been the most ideal for me to get lost in it. And also, again, I like kind of like harken this back to my playing with action figures. Yeah. I get the most enjoyment out of that third person perspective because you know, I like first person perspective as well, but the third person perspective really, it feels like I'm playing with toys. Really, I have all the battle sets, all the vehicles, all the weapons, all the characters. And so like RPG games, just the sprites and stuff like that, I always thought it looked cool to look at, but I would get bored of playing that kind of game after a while and then throw in just like a Soul Calibur. So again, have two characters battling each other in a third person kind of character view. Some kind of.
All right. Maddie, have you...
but I love this music.
Did you ever play Chrono Cross? Are you familiar with the Chrono series whatsoever?
I know Chrono Trigger, but I don't know Chrono Cross. And I don't know this song.
I don't think I know this song either. Chrono Trigger is known to be it's one of the most famous RPGs of all time, and I know it's related to Square Soft back in the day before they were Square Enix. And I remember Chrono Cross it was PS1, right?
Yeah.
And I remember it being sort of, it just wasn't like as big of a deal as Chrono Trigger was, you know?
Right. Yeah. It was the highly anticipated sequel. I think it did pretty. I've seen it on lists of like fan favorites, you know, PS1 classics and stuff like this being one of those games, but definitely probably was still under the shadow of Chrono Trigger.
It's hard to beat that shit. All right, you guys ready to listen?
Yep.
I'm having fun in this ep, bro.
Hell yeah.
This is cool.
I'm drunk as hell.
Are you really?
No, I wish.
I'm drinking a Guinness.
I'm pretty stoned.
Right here, watch. Listen to this. This note, listen to this. Oh my god. It's like
Hell
a
yeah.
knife to the gut from your lover.
Wait, is that a spoiler? Oh
It sounds like something bittersweet happened, but life must go on.
Woo! Yeah, baby! You're on horseback right now. You're riding through the valley on your way to the final battle, on your way to destroy the final boss, and you have an erection. And it's great.
Maybe I will keep this fucking commentary in.
Yes, baby.
Oh,
I
man.
love that. I love that piece of music, man. Hot
Dude.
diggity dog.
That was fucking awesome, man. Oh, dude. Fucking sweet.
Yeah, get you pumped, like I'm saying. Then I'll be like, I gotta play that shit again in my headphones on the way to school. And then I would just, as soon as I'd get in, to be that final crescendo, and I'd just start punching people in the face. As soon as I got there, as soon as I got into class, kick the teacher in the nuts and sit down. And
Or
then fall
the
asleep.
vagina. Oh, man. That's fucking awesome. I love the fucking passion, bro.
Yes. I can't wait to get to my number 2.
Oh, man. Well, before we go to number 2s, the final number 3, mine, here's the link right here. It's Killer Instinct, character selection, song. Huge fucking Killer Instinct fan, man. I think that the latest version kind of misses a little bit of the magic of the first one and the second one. But, God, it was... Honestly, it was a Mortal Kombat ripoff at the end of the day. It was.
Boom.
However-
Shots fired.
Shut up, Andrew.
We have shots fired. Shots fired.
However, it was done so well and
Shots
it was
fired.
different enough. I think everybody just accepted it. And, I mean, it was just like this fucking metal soundtrack. I was a little kid. Didn't even know what kind of music I liked yet. You know, just normal, evolution in your taste in music. But I've always liked this song, and I know we didn't say covers and everything, but this came with the Killer Cut soundtrack, and we listened to that whole soundtrack a shitload, and that was like actually
Killer
not
Cuts
very
was
metal.
awesome.
That was more like industrial dance techno
techno.
shit,
Yeah,
but it was great. I loved
straight
it.
up.
I still love it to this day. There's probably a
techno.
somewhat illegal playlist on Spotify for that, but this song, to kind of break up the orchestral stuff here, it's pretty fucking metal. Maddie, I know you're not so much of a fighting game fan, but are
Dude,
you
I play
familiar with
Killer
this song
Instinct.
at all?
Yeah, dude, I play Killer Instinct.
Oh, okay, all right. So you're you know what we're about to listen to, kind of.
Listen, I
possess
played
a
fighting
killer's
games back in the day.
instinct.
I don't care about them now. I don't want to play them.
Okay.
They were more fun when you're
Wow.
going over to your friend's house and playing because no one knew how to play them. Now playing fighting games is like you got to play for like months and like remember shit, and I'm like, I don't even care.
You gotta train up and get better. Form
Yeah, you
rivalries.
got to. Fighting games are kind of like a hardcore niche thing that. I mean, it's awesome for me to see Evo and all these like fighting games still live. I think some people thought the genre was going to die when 3D came around, and now it's stronger than ever. Anyway, Stefan, you're familiar with Killer Instinct and this song, sort of?
What song was it?
This is the character select song. Well, we haven't listened to it
Character
yet, everybody, but
Yeah. I think so. I think I remember that so much. Yeah, I used to like Killer Instinct. My childhood friend Jerry, I would go to his house all the time, and we'd be playing Killer Instinct, and it was pretty cool. And in the way that you're saying, like, it's a Mortal Kombat knockoff, like, kind of, I just see that as the next, like, once a game comes and hits, it like spawns all these, I guess you can call them knockoffs, but there's always ones that are good that come from that, or that build upon what that one started and stuff. And I feel like Killer Instinct, in as much as it had its own fatalities and kind of it really had its own charm, and I think that went a long way to make it get it to the fandom that it has now.
I mean, and it did have kind of better music than Mortal Kombat did at the end of the day.
Did it?
I think so. Well, the movie, this.
Did it?
All right, that's just my opinion. We'll talk about that's another conversation. Anyway, I guess we're ready to go into this track. So
Yes.
let's take a listen. All right, now we're heading to number 2. So first up, Maddie, number 2 pick.
Number 2. All right. You guys ready for this?
Yes.
Y'all ready for this? Is it that
All
one?
right. It's Silent Hill 1 theme, the mandolin theme.
Oh, shit.
I mean, I think you guys knew it was going to be a horror game at some point. But
Yeah.
You know which one. This just, anytime I hear this, I know exactly where I was when I saw this. I was in my friend's living room. We just gotten it. It was time to fucking play Silent Hill. And it takes me back to that moment. Anytime I hear it, man, it's just such a good song. And it's so good. It's kind of terrifying, but excites me at the same time.
Do you know what it's called?
It's just Silent Hill 1 main
Awesome.
theme.
Okay.
Or you can put in mandolin theme and it'll also pop up.
I don't think I can place this offhand before listening to it. I probably have listened to it.
Andrew. Go.
Hey, I bought the first Silent Hill on PS1. I didn't
found
beat it, though. I don't think.
Whatever.
Silent Hill.
Lying for the listeners, I get
No,
it.
I totally fucking played it, bro.
I got to play through it. I don't think I've played through the whole thing either.
Oh my god.
Honestly, PS1. I didn't play a whole lot of PS1 games that I ever beat. That was around the time my brother. He kind of was like the PS1 captain, and I would just sit
what
there
system
and play.
did you have at that time? You didn't have a Saturn, did you?
I had a Dreamcast.
That was later, though.
Yeah, the only game I beat, was it later? Yeah, you're right. I mean, it was our system and stuff, but I would just like play Tomb Raider. I wouldn't play through Tomb Raider. I would just play, Virtua Fighter, or not Virtua Fighter. I would play, whatever we had, Soul Calibur.
I know you're a Genesis
PS1
guy, but I view the
Yeah.
PS1 as being like the runner-up after Super Nintendo. It's like this.
Probably, yeah.
So many
Yeah.
epic titles came out. Like the
I
Super
didn't
Nintendo for
honestly-
me, like it was PlayStation 1, which
Yeah.
is epic, man.
Yeah, I didn't start beating games till PS2. I'll be straight up honest. Honest engine.
Actually, you know what? I think I know what you're saying there, because a lot of old games were like impossible to beat unless it was Mario or Sonic. Like it felt like so
Yeah.
many games, like
I did.
yeah,
beat
in the
Sonic
16 and
1.
8-bit era, it's like people
when I was,
hardly
like,
ever
12.
beat games. I feel like.
Yeah. I did.
Yeah. I would love playing them, and I would play them up until it was too hard, and then that was the game for me. Really.
First game
And
I
then
ever beat was
yeah.
Bugs Bunny's Crazy Castle for NES, and I was probably 9 or 10.
That's legendary.
Yeah, bro. Got that ending. Okay, you guys ready to listen?
Yeah.
All right. Sweet.
Goddamn to you, my number 2's a jammer.
Bro. All right. Hit us with it, man.
Bring you the heat. Sonny
Give us a
Jimbo,
little introduction.
Jimbo,
What's your
Jim Bob,
origin with this thing?
Billy. This is a little old tune that comes from a little old game about a little old blue little old hedgehog named Sonic the Hedgehog.
Green Hill Zone.
It's not Green Hill Zone,
Oh,
you
wow.
punk bitch.
Oh shit.
My pick and this is like goes down as like one of the top pieces of video game music of all time. It's my current phone ring. It's the Labyrinth Zone. Motherfuckers, get ready to fucking get out your seat and boogie.
Before we take a listen, so you're a big Genesis guy, right? You're Genesis over Super Nintendo, correct?
Yes.
As far as your personal history with video games.
Yeah.
So
generally Sega Genesis kid.
when you were a kid, you were like, the music's better on Genesis. Where you pretty much thought that?
I was like part of the gang, man. Like I would fucking jump kids who even talked about Mario. What the fuck did you just say?
That's hilarious.
I know you didn't just say I hate Sonic the Hedgehog. I just said I love Mario. You said I hate Sonic the Hedgehog. You know, I'd be a bully about it.
And what was it about this one in particular? It's just a better jam in general, or
now it's like a nostalgic main line right to the fucking cerebellum. It just like shoots me back to the early 90s when I was playing Sonic the Hedgehog 1. And you get to this level. Is my favorite level of the earlier levels because obviously, like we were talking about, I didn't beat Sonic the Hedgehog right away. I think I beat it a little bit later in my childhood, but did maybe beat it. But Labyrinth Zone was always, I loved getting to that level and just kind of like replaying that level so I could hear the song more. It's just a dope song. It's a jammer. It's a great beat. You can freestyle over it. And I'm surprised nobody's made an entire mixtape based off of that entire first and second soundtrack.
And this is from Sonic 1, correct?
Sonic 1, yeah. Sonic 1.
Okay.
It's fantabulous.
Like as far as the gameplay for Sonic, it always got like way hard whenever you had to like be underwater and get air.
Yeah.
Those little areas like fuck me up, dude. That's
The
like
water
usually when I would
levels
stop
are tough.
playing, which is so hard.
Yeah. You got to get a feel for it and then get to those damn bubbles, man. And
Yeah.
just keep moving forward. Because the cool thing about Sonic games is the maps actually lend to a little bit more exploration off the beaten path. But you could really just like zip through each level and just make sure you stay alive and make sure you get past and open doors that you need to, and then beat the boss. Really, that's what was kind of cool. Made it, I've always, I'll take Sonic the Hedgehog over Mario any day of the week.
Johnson's the same way.
Yeah. He's a cool motherfucker, man. Look at him.
I mean,
Man,
speed
Sonic,
is cool.
Look at those shoes, baby.
Yeah.
Mario's a plumber. How old is he? Still playing around in Dreamland. I'm just kidding. I like Mario too. I can't say I hate Mario, but yeah, I would take Sonic. Just check her out, man. I'm sick of talking about it.
Well, we'll talk to Maddie real quick. I like to go to everybody before we go to the track. So, Maddie, your familiarity with this track or Sonic in general?
I don't know, man. I didn't have a Genesis. I mean, I know Sonic the Hedgehog because who doesn't? But I never. And I played like the first one, but I didn't get very far in it.
Dang.
So.
All right. Yeah. I was lucky enough. I had two younger brothers, and we all usually had more than one system. White privilege? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it was. I played both Mario and Sonic, so they're both fucking nostalgic for me. And I guess that's it. So let's fucking take a listen.
sexy as fuck, baby. I'd be sitting on the beach with Mai Tais. Not just sitting, I'd be dancing. I'd be moonwalking, drinking cocktails, taking them out of other people's hands, slapping women's bottoms consensually.
Consensually, of course.
Smoking off that fat blunt, and then I'll run into the water, and I'll be like, God, it's great to be alive.
Madam, might I slap thine bottom consensually?
And currently
Yes.
we're watching a YouTube video that's a 30-minute version of this song that somebody's just looped. I would have this motherfucker playing. I want this shit playing at my funeral, looped 3 hours. I want it in my casket, blasting my dead corpse with sound as I slip off this mortal coil.
Do you think that people will listen to this song for 30 minutes straight, even at your funeral?
I don't give a flying
Don't do
fuck.
anything for
I'm
Stephanie's
dead.
Write
Who
it in your
cares?
write it in your fucking will, dude.
I'm gonna have a rock star fucking like list of requests for my funeral, like just a bunch of crazy bullshit. This song's gonna be blasting like really loud early in the morning. Love that shit.
That's a eccentric choice, man.
That's my number 2. That's a jamboree, jambizzle.
All right, cool. I might like Green Hill Zone more,
You
but I do
fucking
like some.
blasphemer.
All right,
There's
so
some great tracks on that entire soundtrack. There's like I listen to it like I listen to a Beatles album or something. I'm like, time to listen to that fucking Sonic the Hedgehog joint.
So my pick, before I send this to you guys, it's from Wild Arms that I never
Yeah.
beat. It's a PS1 RPG. Again, always been like dipping my toes in the genre, but never really swimming, I guess you could say. But so my story here with this song, I forget the name of it, but it's like the opening theme. I was playing it in the living room, not in my room. I guess I had moved my PlayStation there for a bit. And my mom comes in, and my mom has like been like the main line for music for me growing up.
Interesting.
Right. So she had a record collection. I learned about all kinds of oldies and shit through her, and we listened to the oldies. I never rode the school bus, so my mom would drive us to school every morning. So that was a lot of oldies listening. This is not an oldies song, but it's a. So my mom hears this, and she's like, "That's a good song, Andrew." And I was like, I've always remembered that for some reason. That's all. That's pretty much all that memory is. But it was just like my mom had.
You don't have completely horrendous taste.
Yeah, had recognized that a game I was into had a good song. That's really as simple as it is. It's always stuck with me. And it also has a really great sense of adventure and wilderness pioneering, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it was kind of like an Old West theme, wasn't it?
Yeah, kinda. So it kind of has that vibe. It's like you're being a pioneer out in the West. And so Stefan, you're somewhat familiar with Wild Arms?
I just remember I liked the ads to this game because the art was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it, and I never watched too much anime and stuff, but I always loved I used to collect Wizard magazine. I didn't even collect comic books. I just collected Wizard magazine mainly to see all the different types of art that was out there. But same thing with like video game magazines. I loved seeing the ads and stuff for different games. I remember Wild Arms really stuck out, but I don't think I've ever heard this song.
It's pretty good. Maddie, before we listen to it, do you have any recollection of this game?
Oh, I know what you're talking about because of the ads, which Stefan mentioned. I just like the style. I was like, man, I want to get that game, but back when that stuff was coming out, I made no money.
Yeah.
Like $20 mowing a yard, and I
Right.
was like, well, I can go hang out with my friends, and go see a sick movie, or just save it for a video game.
Right.
And you know me, I'm
Save
impulsive.
money.
I got
Fuck
to
that.
see that movie. So I didn't have a lot of games. Usually my games came around like Christmas time or like birthday. Would be like, and it would usually be like a Resident Evil or Silent Hill or some horror thing that I was interested in. Usually won out over like a big RPG just because I don't know, man. I wasn't that into them as a little baby.
Yeah. Well, all right. That's good. I mean, that makes sense. Anyway, let's take a listen.
nice song, Andrew.
All right, moving into number 1, man. Closing it out. Maddie, what you got?
Okay, this is, I don't know. It's a pretty classic theme. I think everyone knows it. We probably don't even have to listen to it. But it brings back a lot of memories of having my Game Boy on trips with my mom because we would try to beat each other's score. She was way better than me at it because I was just a little kid. But it's the Tetris theme.
Oh my God!
Nice.
It brings back, every time I hear it, it just reminds me of like playing Tetris on a Game Boy and then trying to beat my mom's score. So holds a special place in my heart. Don't mean to, get all sad and cry on the podcast, but miss my mom sometimes.
It's my mean moms.
Yeah, I think it's a great theme, and I think anyone who covers it does a great job. And I tried to pick songs that take me, like, besides the Spider-Man, when I wanted to throw a fun one in there. Just something recent that I've been playing, because I feel like sometimes soundtracks of recent games are like really good, but it's not like a theme doesn't really stick out to me. It's like, man, I just dig this whole soundtrack.
Right.
This is a classic theme. Everybody knows this. You can put this on for anyone. And it just has like a nostalgia thing for me. It takes me back to them childhood days when I didn't have to pay bills and.
Let me ask a question real quick. Did everybody's mom play Tetris?
I think so.
No.
Sandra did not play Tetris, bro.
Sandra.
She will probably say that she did. I don't recall her ever playing it.
That was
Sandra
any
lying?
video game.
That was
Sandra,
definitely
don't
my
lie to
mom's
us.
go-to, bro.
My mom doesn't. I don't think I've ever known her to even try and play a video game.
Oh wow, my mom
maybe
actually
like an
did
arcade
play
game when she
games
was
a
kid,
little bit.
Yeah. Really? Yeah. My mom never sat down with the console. She would like watching us play. She always loved watching us be excited about shit.
My boys.
Yeah,
Look at him go.
my mom was super into puzzle games, so
Yeah, my mom pretty much, it was Tetris and anything else. It was mainly Tetris, I guess.
I can't think of anything. I'm sure she did like crossword puzzles and stuff, so Tetris was like definitely up her alley.
This has got to be like
Dr.
a
Mario,
Russian.
she would get down with some Dr. Mario.
Oh yeah, my mom did play that too. The Tetris has that Russian thing going on too, right? It was made for cosmonauts originally or some shit.
Yeah, you said we don't have to listen to this. I have to listen to this.
Oh my god.
All right, let's go right into it and listen to it.
Link at the bottom. This is a great track. This is a great piece of music.
It's so good.
It's called, the title of it is Gorobeniki. Gorobeniki is the name of that song.
Fucking sweet, bro. That's a good pick. I mean,
Yeah,
classic
that
as
was
fuck.
good. I love that track. I'll tell you what.
Yeah. Fucking A, man.
Me too. That's why I fucking picked it.
Boom! In our faces.
Stefan, man, you're number 1. We've arrived, bro.
Yeah, boy. All right, I think my number 1 pick, I think, is going to be, it's going to go head back to that old 8-bit days. But I do think this is probably one of, if not the absolute best piece of music made for a video game.
Made by
of
man.
all fucking time. I could listen to this shit for hours on end. And it's a jammer, and it also gets you pumped. And, it symbolizes, the great fight that we all have to fight, internally, externally, through life, finding that drive that we need to power through. This is fucking my pick for the top number 1 piece of video game music song of all time.
Wait, I haven't clicked on the link. Just, can you introduce us?
Oh yeah, it's the Mike Tyson's Punch Out, the fight theme when you're actually fighting with Little Mac.
Oh,
Man,
yeah.
that Little Mac, he deserves a Nobel Peace Award or whatever they call it. He's amazing. That Little Mac, I'm gonna get a tattoo of Little Mac because he just deserves a lot more, worship and praise.
I gotta tell you,
got me through some times.
Since we're going through like our personal histories with these games, that's one NES game I did not like pick up for some reason.
What? You're a fool.
And you like fighting games, bro?
I never got into boxing games for one, but this would have been before I even got into fighting games. Because ground zero for me with fighting games was Mortal Kombat 1 and Street Fighter 1. I had a friend come over in Alabama named Clint Corbin, and he was like, Johnny Cage, man, he's so awesome, he's cool, dude. And I was like, who's Johnny Cage? And he was like, man, he's in Mortal Kombat.
It's like, God, I knew you was a pussy bush. Slam this into your fucking console hole right now.
And then we like role played, like as kids do.
Ew.
Like, I'm Johnny Cage. I'm fucking Kung Lao or whatever. Like,
did you role play?
Yeah, we role played, but it was cool. And then my brothers, we all got into it like kind of that day. I remember, and then. Now that guy's into UFC, so he's still into fighting. Anyway,
for a second I thought you would be like, now that guy's dead. but I'm glad he ended up in the UFC.
That guy, his mom was dating a ninjutsu instructor in Alabama, and we met that way. But come to find out, years later, looking back on it, it was like some guy that was teaching some sort of fake ninjutsu. Had absolutely nothing to do with ninjutsu, and he was just making money in a small town. Of kids that didn't know anything.
That's like fucking Foot Fist Way and shit.
Dude, it was ridiculous. It was some fucking McDojo shit. Anyway, that's a tangent.
McDojo.
Yeah, that's a word.
You're a word.
So, yeah. Maddie, you know much about Punch-Out then, or what?
Oh, yeah, dude, I fucking played the shit out of Punch-Out. This game's so hard, but I loved every second of it.
It is very hard.
I remember I think I did get to Mike Tyson, but this is like me and some friends playing and just like continually just like, and I don't remember if we beat him or not. I feel like at that point we might have just lost interest and someone brought over a new game or something at some point. Because it would just be like sleepovers or something like in the neighborhood, and it'd be like, oh, let's play Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. This game's so hard. But then it was like, we can beat him, we know how. And then it would just be like back and forth, just switching up. Because some people would be good at fighting this one dude, and then someone else would be good at fighting that dude. So it was like, we got pretty far in it, I remember, but I don't remember like being like, yeah, we beat it. I think our attention spans were like, yeah, Indiana Jones, fuck yeah, let's watch that shit. So, yeah, man, I like this game. It's sick.
Nice. I feel left out because I really should have played this, but for some reason it left me.
Just check the track, brother. It speaks for itself.
We grew up in the fucking golden age of video games, dude.
Back when everything was simple.
No wonder we're addicted as fuck to these things.
Back when everything you knew what was gonna happen day to day, you know, back in the day when it wasn't constant war.
Okay, so for my final pick, to round out the whole goddamn episode, so this is this actually is a main menu song, and when I first heard it, I couldn't believe it because it's very orchestral. It's got singing. It's ridiculous. It's actually Civilization 4's theme. It's Baba Yetu, which although I am non-religious, it is the Lord's Prayer in Swahili. This song, and
in a video game.
Yeah, and it's orchestral as hell, and it's been in a lot of like video games in concert. Like those kind of.
Oh really?
Yeah, and I've only played a little bit of Civilization because I'm mainly a console guy, but definitely those games can't really be on console. They got to be with a mouse.
They
and
are
shit.
on console though.
It's probably not as great though, right? I don't know. Anyway,
I mean,
that's a
I
whole
don't
other
know.
conversation.
If you want to play it, it's there to play. You
It's
ain't got
there.
no excuses now.
Also, this song is the only video game. Well, it might have been the first. Maybe there's been more since then. But it's the first or only video game soundtrack or song to get nominated for a Grammy.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
Nice.
it's pretty fucking epic. And anybody got any? They know anything about Civilization before we start listening to this track?
Sid Meier.
It's his Civilization, not yours. It's
He did that shit, boy. You know what I'm saying?
That's all I know. I mean, I know about the concept, but that's pretty much the extent of it. And
I
I've always
played
wanted to play them, but I just don't do stuff like that.
I've played a little bit. A friend of mine in Chicago, he had a couple of them, and he would just put them on and be like, "Oh, I gotta go do something. You can play this if you want." And I'd be like, "I don't know." And then I'd like kind of get wrapped up for it in a minute. I'm like, "Man, I need to get some Civilization," but then I forget about it. So,
Well, yeah. And
Awesome.
It's not all metal all the time. Sometimes it's like kind of scores with nice singing like this. And when I first heard it, my friend was like, "Dude, this is a main menu song, bro." And then I was like, kind of hooked, and I played it it's on Spotify, and I've just listened to it over and over and over. I really loved this song.
Utupele ochakala chetu tunachohitaji utusamehe makosa yetu kama nasi tunavyowasamehe lawi utukosea usitutie katika majaribu lakini utuokoe na yule muovu na milele.
gonna be stuck
That
in my head
was-
for days now.
That was inspirational. Made me think about going back to school.
Well, all right.
Not me. Still got to pay off them student loans.
I changed my identity.
Yeah, so that's my number one pick. I feel bad for not putting Street Fighter or Super Metroid on this, but I gotta say the covers of those songs are like insanely better because it's real instruments and not a 16-bit soundtrack.
Yeah.
So those would be my honorable mentions. What about you guys? Just list them off real quick.
Like I said, most of mine are just like soundtracks, but like the Last of Us soundtrack's fucking sick. Shadow
Gustavo
of Colossus
Santana,
is
yeah.
fucking sick. Yeah, man, just I feel like most games that I'm playing right now are more memorable to me, like just because I'm like the games I really like are super cinematic, so it's like I just get like just love having the whole score there, so it's really hard to pick out like which this was the level music I enjoyed more. So, but those are two off the top of my head.
Stefan?
Yeah, I could go on for days about it, I think, but really, Metal Gear Solid had some jammers,
Yeah,
had
for
good
sure.
orchestral soundtracks and good soundtracks, but it had distinct tracks that really stuck out. Snake Eater had that like James Bond type theme that I really loved. It produced a lot of good stuff under that. I would also say, fucking, what was the other game I was going to say? God damn it, give me a second. Oh my god, I can't think of it. What is it? Holy shit.
Panzer
Dishonored.
Dragoon 1.
Dishonored
for some reason
had
had an amazing soundtrack. My god.
Yeah, Dishonored, the first Dishonored and second Dishonored had good soundtracks. I had another one. Oh, fuck. Hold on 1 second. What was it? God damn it. God damn it. Metal Gear. What was the other one I was going to say? Red Dead Redemption had an amazing soundtrack. Fucking so atmospheric throughout the whole game. I mean, like I said, I could go on. There's so many good fucking pieces of music made for video games. It is definitely a passion to follow.
Nice.
Personally.
All right. Well, that's been episode 151, everybody. Thanks for listening. This is, again, not the normal episode for us, but I thought it would be cool. We will be returning to Spooky House very shortly. Thanks for this little break in between. And if you liked this episode, please let us know in the comments, either on our Facebook, our Twitter, our YouTube, maybe, Instagram, anywhere you follow us. iTunes would be great, actually. And that's basically it. Please check out SuperHousePod.com as well. And I think that's it. So, Andrew, signing off.
Just Maddie, bye-bye.
This old crazy, I'm out!
This is Stefan from the SuperHouse Podcast. Be sure to check us out on Patreon, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and any other godforsaken social media outlet that we should be floating on.
We are basically on all social media.
Yeah, all social media.
Mainly Facebook and Twitter and Patreon.
Check out the links in the description.
We have a lot of cool goals set up on our Patreon. Like if you donate $1, you'll be able to give us topic for us to talk about, and
That's
we'll talk
dope.
about for maybe an hour or more. Who knows how long it'll take?
And that's pretty tight.
That's the coolest thing.
Wait, we're on the internet?
That's pretty good. If you
And we can make money.
What?
if you donate $1,000, you get full frontal nudes.
We haven't set that up, but it's a possibility. You give us $1,000, who knows what'll happen?
Check us out.
I'll do that. I'll do that.
You get to go on a date with one of us for $10,000.
But you pay for everything.
You get to have your way with Maddie for $20,000.
For $1 million, I'll give you Joey for a weekend.
For $30,000, we'll help you hide a body. Check out our Patreon.
SuperHouse Gigolo Project.
2018.
Links in the description.